And we're back. Excuse me. The next episode of Human Comics: Transgender Hate Mail, Homosexual Hate Mail, Atheist Hate Mail. Basically, me reacting to a bunch of screen caps on YouTube and DeviantArt. A response to comments. I'm in against these deviant lifestyles and a few other things. Trigger warning. If you don't like what I'm saying, go ahead and click off the video. You can watch something else. Don't lie and say there's hate speech for my videos because there is no hate speech for my videos. It's speech you hate. That's a different story. Let's continue on. People getting things wrong in these comment sections and me trying to turn them out with well versus abuse biology, and then getting too off about that. Also, it's to get vaccinated to help stop the spread of diseases. Let's continue on here. It's overlap, but it's important to do because you got to do that. Let's go. Sorry from killing anymore. And the Bible has plenty of advice on that. Do not lie, Exodus 20:16. Do not covet, Exodus 20:17. You are fearfully, wonderfully made, Psalms 139:14. And the science of anatomy goes along with that. There's a male design and a female design of the people's bodies, and if that body matches this design, nothing is wrong with it. No matter what feeling disagrees. Then person says, a person is more than their body, though. They are, but they gotta learn how to differentiate. Don't stop trying to make their mind match their body match their mind, which is impossible. They'll live with the body they have without lying about it. Let's go. Really, you can recognize that. You say that a person's body is more important or prominent than their mind, or vice versa, isn't really right because we exist in balance of trying to match our minds and bodies to be in sort of an alignment, but we can't do that. So you got to learn. Well, you can, but the alignment is you got to learn to live with reality. Your body is physical. You can touch that. You know, it's design has a certain design to it. That design is what makes us human. Okay, there's male design and female design. Okay, and you gotta learn to live with that. You know, we gotta learn to live with that. Learn to think properly about it instead of being like something wrong but nothing is. I don't like this. But you had normal stuff. You know. How do I fix this? It's nothing broken. You have to learn. You know. So let's go. Isn't the point also not to hate in general? Not hate sin. You're supposed to hate sin though. If these trans people are some enemy, aren't you supposed to love your enemies? They're not enemies. They are people getting things wrong and destroying themselves. I want to stop them from destroying themselves. So I will say that this pathway you're going down is bad. They can say, yeah, whatever, man, continue down the pathway. Cliff. You know, but that's on them. Yeah, and that's how it goes. And frankly, it's the people who press trans people who make them turn to self-harm through lies. If they are allowed to do what they wanted to do without people giving them so much flack over it because it's lies. Come on. Wall of text. Let's do it. There's lies, which you wouldn't know because you won't give them a chance to feel accepted because they're lying. They wouldn't do that because they're lies. Frankly, nobody would have anything to hide if you make them not afraid of telling what they want to be through lies. You know, what you're telling them. You know, they're lying. They're afraid of what could happen, so they lie. Not good. Frankly, nobody would have anything to hide if you make them what they might be. Like I said, you're shoving them into this box that says they can't be more than what they were born through lies. You know, physically, no. Physically, I am, yes. Mentally, I'm not. And it's pitiful to watch you do that because it is pitiful to watch you do that because the lies I was told. It's like a person born into poverty wants to become rich enough to have family and give them security. They save up for years and buy a nice suit to finally look how they want to live and respected for it. Then there are people who find out that they're in fact poor and attack them and take their clothes. No, that you shouldn't pretend to be something they can't be, and that'll never more than what they are born as. That's not the same thing at all. Now, poverty is caused by lack of knowledge. You know, there's a poverty called wrong knowledge. Being born with penis and testicles is normal. Being born with vulva and ovaries is normal. So it's not the same thing. Doesn't work. Lying about biological sex is wrong. So lying about biological sex. That's how it goes. Different story. That's the kind of talking what others like you are doing to trans people through lies. It's horrifying to see you do that. Mortifying even, according to lies are told. And I say, it's not the same thing. A person who started poor and works hard to save cash so they can become rich is different than a person who with more testicles wanting to be a woman or a person more always wanting to be a man. They want something they can never have. They should learn to live with what they have. And you are right that people are more than just their bodies, but they should not be lying about their biological sex. They have to learn to adjust their minds to their body. Their bodies. So, because I am trying to understand, I'll say what I've heard to my understanding. So, the body is sacred and should not be under circumstances to be changed. Basically, take what life deals you and learn to cope with the cards you draw. In ways, yes. It's up to your mind to change to suit your body, and it should never be the other way around, whether it's possible or not. Exactly. That pretty much the philosophy there, and I said, yes, pretty much, unless there's a physical health problem. Very interesting, this one. I'm glad I can at least wrap my head around your viewpoint then. Out of curiosity, does that extend to things like plastic surgery too? Yeah. Oh yes, only change how you look, not to fix the health problem. The verse says, well, I still can't speak for why you continue to hate trans people through lies, instead of accepting them through lies. But I can at least say I exited with a new understanding of a viewpoint. I guess them agree to disagree, so to say. You've got a set of codes to live by, and I gotta respect that, especially if they're religious. Just remember that if someone doesn't want that, they'll force it on them by telling them, yeah, I'm going to do that. If you think something might hurt someone's feelings, or might put them in a worse mental space, maybe either reward it or pass the component entirely because of lies or so. I can't quite wish you the best of luck on this specific journey because of its nature of truth, but I do hope that you find whatever you're looking for eventually. Those I go against deserve some closure in the end. So have a good day for now then. Click. I say, thanks, you too. Yeah. And I say, also, you compare the transgender lifestyle of a poor person wanting to get rich, but that's not how a good comparison. Because being rich is better than being poor. Being poor with women's testicles is not better than being born with ovaries. Being born with ovaries is not better than being born with testicles. Both are important for us to continue. And then person says, well, having each has its pros and cons, but trans person isn't looking for her. Come on. Or whatever's arguably better or anything, according to lies I was told. They are just the one that makes them feel comfortable in their own skin through lies. I say, so don't they think one is better than the other? I'm sorry. You can't just say that. They're not looking for what's better. They don't think one's better than the other. They still feel comfortable. They're looking for what's better than the other. It doesn't work. That stuff does not work. Because they think one's better than the other. I say, well, I can't say that. The answer is yes, in a broad sense. It is. So they do that stuff. It's more like they don't think one sex or gender or anything better than the other. They just have the mentality that one is better suited for them than the other. So it's better than the other. Come on. Just admit it. So it's not from the perspective of them not liking one of them. It totally is from the perspective of them not liking one of them. There have been both boys and girls, especially girls, who have been saying that why can't why can't I have that? Why do I have to stick with this? I can't believe this. This isn't fair. This isn't right. This isn't fair at all, or anything. That's what they're doing. It's really sad to see that. How do you do? Well, they think one of them fits better from the mental aspect through lies. Not really by choice, it's really by choice. But nobody would really, you don't even shoot because they don't really choose to have those problems voluntarily. They choose to give into the problems instead of fight resisting them. Like I say, or can say you're right in one thing. You, in fact, can work on it mentally and get past it because I worked through dysphoria that way when I was younger. Yes, you need to do that. But everyone experiences different severities and deals with it differently. Some through truth, some through lies, yeah. And that's wrong. Lies is wrong. And like it or not, there are different ways to handle more severe cases now than to say, suck it up and cope. But the best way is to suck it up and cope. More procedures and surgeries and whatever to lie. I say, well, they learn to do better, and I will help them. Like, well, view it like this. They're technically both procedures that are the same end goal. Resolution in the mind. Resolution in mind. One doesn't align with what you believe is right, because it isn't. Yours is changing the mind to fit the body. Yes, you gotta work on that. And the other is changing the body to fit the mind, which is impossible. If I have to speak in all honesty, it's probably trivial at best whether they actually transition to a body like the opposite sex to align with their gender, identity, lie. It's not trivial. Times have changed through lies, and they dictate that people can refer to by their gender identity rather than biological sex because they want to indulge that lie. It doesn't work. Sure, it did confuse the heck out of me at first, but it's just a moment like society you gotta accept at one point or another, or not, because screw that. Otherwise, you look like a person still living in the 1600s to everyone else. Telling the truth though, so it doesn't work. What do you got? We got time. I said, well, that's Christianity. I have no problem with that. Take care. So they're living in the 1600s or accepting the changing times, living in the 1600s. Even though people still do the same things, they have the same feelings they did back then. Also, the body can never match what the mind wants. Why? So very specific designs, minds do not. First says, by birth, yeah, we do have specific designs, for better or worse, and yes, we do. Yep. You're going to ask what the appendix is supposed to be doing, but it's not the same thing as normal reproductive organs, so no, it doesn't work. And well, the body nowadays can match what the mind wants with stuff that exists through lies, so you can't. It's impossible. It's not going to work. Best not to try. No, you won't be one. Even this person says this. No, you won't be a one-to-one male or female. You're born of the opposite sex. So why bother? They are looking for that more than just wanting some peace with themselves through lies, by being comfortable in their body through lies. And once again, it's the same goal with a different method. So the truth one, let's lie one. Also, like, no, we actually have progressed through lies, and I do different things and think differently too through lies. Back in the 1600s, a woman would be thrown in a river from being a witch if she wanted to be educated. I don't know about that, but still, stuff would happen, yes. A man wanted to be with to love another man would have been lynched for the entire town at once. So don't do that. A man wanted to be wear a dress because he felt secure in it because of lies he was told wouldn't be sent to asylum in a heartbeat. Yeah, don't do that. Surely you can see how we don't think and do the same things as back then. Yes, we're tolerant to sin. Not good. At some point, you do have to realize that there's a way to not stay so far back in time through truth and accept new change through lies, but not accommodate whatever, but not compromise whatever moral code you uphold. That's not happening. Maybe it's easier for me as a very religious person to accept the changing times and lie, yes, but I think that I could learn to accept it instead of hate, for I could do it at the time too, through lies. So I'm not doing that. And I said the reason why it's like that now is because people are more tolerant of sin. Should people who sin be killed? No, all have sinned and falls short of the glory of God. Romans 3:23. That's all. And Jesus took the punishment on himself. But even without the death penalty for sin, like that, sinning is still bad. It's up to Christians like me to help teach people that they don't need to sin to have a good life. My methods may be old school to you, but they are the way we do things, like it or not. Also, a person with testicles will never be female. Will always going to be male. All people who want to be male or want to be female can do is lie about it and hide the evidence to the contrary. It's a waste of time and effort. It's a waste of time and effort. Person says, I mean, I'm all for helping people. They don't want your help. Pushing forward is violating a boundary, continuing to talk about it, they don't want you to talk about it is pushing a boundary, Like, yeah, it is. But that's fine. I'll continue to do it. I'll see you guys next time. Check me out on YouTube, DeviantArt.